right, guys, we are going to run through my archery setup for this coming year. I've got several tags in my pocket, including an archery antelope tag. It's going to kick off here in 2 weeks on August 1st. I've got an elk tag in Idaho. I've got an elk tag in Wyoming, and I also have an elk tag in Arizona. So I've got a pile of elk tags, got an antelope tag. So I'm getting set to really kick off and do a lot of archery hunting this year. So I wanted to do a quick video and run through my bow setup and also my arrow, broadhead, and release. So with that, starting with the bow, I have a Mathews Lift X33. I like that longer axle to axle. I've got a 30-inch draw length, so it gives me just a little bit better string angle. I also like the longer axle to axle platform. I just feel like it's a bit more stable. Certainly guys hunting out of a blind, guys hunting back east, maybe shorter guys that have a shorter draw length, they might gravitate to that 29.5-inch version. But for me, I've always liked that longer to axle bow, so I'm running the 33 Lift X. The bow has the limb shift technology, which has been really handy in tinkering and tuning this thing. Makes it really nice so that you don't have to put that in the press, pop the cams out to change out top hats. It's a very simple adjustment. You get a paper tear that's left or right. You can very simply tune that out just by twisting either left or right, depending on what your tear is doing. So it's been really user-friendly. Fast bow, really quiet. I'm a big fan of the lift platform. So that's the bow. For a sight, I'm using the UV Slider 2 sight. I've got this on my bow in a 3-pin version on a vertical post. I do have on my desk a 5-pin housing that I will be putting in this and then sighting it in shortly this week. I like a 5-pin for hunting. I've been pretty vocal about that. The reason being, I just want multiple aiming points so that when that situation's developing, I don't want to have to think about moving my sight. I want to have to guess where I'm supposed to aim depending on where those other pins are. I really just like a 5-pin housing. I'll end up using my bottom pin as a slider, and I really like this UV sight. It's super smooth. You can see the adjustments very easy with that dial. It's got the 3 indicators. I believe the 5-pin, I'll just end up using the 1 because I'm going to run that default at 60, meaning that I'm going to use my bottom pin for my 70, 80, 90, 100 yards if I have to have a follow-up shot. The sight is really nice. I feel like it's durable, it's lightweight, it's only about 9.2 ounces, I believe. I feel like it's one of the best mixes for a sight in terms of durability, feature, function, and just overall tightness. It's just a tight sight. Works really well. Rest. So I've got the QAD MX2 Ultra Rest. It's a cable-driven drop-away rest. Very easy to set up. It goes straight into that integrated portion of the riser. Cable-driven, like I said, so I just run my cable down through my down cable on my bow. It's a pretty simple rest. It does everything that I want it to. Not a lot of moving parts and pieces. It stays tight to the riser. Really clean, fits right within line of the actual riser itself, and I've had really good luck with that thing. No problems tuning it whatsoever. Durability's been really good. If I do have one tip, it's if you get one of these brand new, you do have to kind of break in this launcher arm. So before I even put one on my bow, I like to just sit at my desk while I'm working in the office and just click and engage that thing and just let it get broken in before I actually install it on my bow. So that's one little tip. It's got the cage obviously across the top. It's going to keep your arrow in. Overall, great little rest. I have nothing bad to say about it at all. Stabilizers. So I've got the Mathews integrated Bridge-Lock stabilizers. Brand new for this year. They launched the 15-inch version of these stabilizers. So I'm running a 15-inch front bar and a 12-inch back bar. For the back bar bracket, I've got the Mathews Shrewd Atlas back bar bracket. It's got one adjustment for both your horizontal and your vertical travel. It has the receiver, the quick receiver here for this dovetail back bar and that Bridge-Lock technology. Very easy to use. As far as weight goes, I've got 4 ounces up front. I've got 8 ounces on the back plus the rubber dampener. You can see here my dampener on the front. I keep losing them. So I lost one in New Zealand. I lost one in Hawaii. And that was just on a stock when I was using that thing as a cane to kind of move the bar out in front of me as I was crawling. I will tell you, it's probably a really good idea to super glue these in or even take some serving and just run it around the front of the stabilizer itself through the rubber dampener part. So if you don't want those to fall out, because it is liable to happen, you can either super glue those in or just use some serving to tie those in, which is what I'll probably do when I get a replacement. All right, so for the grip, I'm using a baseball handle grip tape. Basically, you can buy that at any local sporting goods store. I think it's called lizard skin, Ultra. It's basically, they sell it in different millimeters of thickness. This is the 0.5 millimeter thickness. It's relatively thin. As I wrap that thing, one thing that I like to do is I like to wrap it so that it's going up into the grip, so it kind of works up into my hand versus like down into it. I just like the feel of it, so you can kind of see how that's wrapped. It's pretty cheap. I think it's about 14 bucks a roll, and you can do a handle. On the inside of that, I've got the Mathews side plates. So when you buy a Mathews bow, it has the engage grip, which is a nice grip. I just like the feel of the side plates. So I've got the two side plates, an outside, inside, and then the lizard skin bat wrap on the outside of it. I just like the feel of it. I feel like it's super repeatable, and for me, it's the most comfortable. So that's what I've got as far as my grip. Strings. So this is an aftermarket set of strings. This is made by a guy up in Idaho. His name's Jesse Smith, super nice guy. He has a company where he's building strings called Apex Custom Bowstrings. I've had these on for probably 2 or 3 months, I guess, at this point. Got a lot of arrows, multiple hunts, and they've been super solid. I haven't had any creep, any movement in these strings. My timing's been good. So if you're looking for a new set of strings, give Jesse a call up there at Apex Custom. Nice set of strings. Peep sight, it's just a Radical Archery Designs peep. This is a 5/32 size peep, which lines up nicely with the housing on my sight. Some people certainly like a larger one, whether that's 3/16 or a quarter if they want more light. Some people like an 1/8 just to get that size shrunk down. I did talk to a buddy of mine the other day. I'm half considering going to a smaller peep because I do have astigmatism in my eye. Seems like my pins are getting pretty blurry. In talking to him, I think there is maybe the ability to shrink my peep down and actually bring those pins into focus a little bit better, get less of that halo effect as my eyes get older. So I may tinker with that a little bit. You do want the peep to be large enough so that you get enough light during the early morning and evening. I don't know if that smaller peep will do that. I'm just gonna play around with it and see. But right now, what I've been shooting, it's been good for me for the most part, is that 5/32 Radical Archery Designs peep. Arrow, so let's jump in and talk about my arrow. This is an Ultraview 1K. It's a nice arrow made by Victory. It's got the 1K weave, obviously. You have their proprietary vanes, which are molded. I believe they're injected molded. It's a nice vane, super quiet. It comes pre-fletched just like this with the wrap. It's got a nice knock on it, which fits really good on my serving. It's a durable knock. It's got a little bit of a collar on the insert here, which is nice. I like that. I can change those out super simple if I want to. I have any issues with my nocks. It has a 75 grain steel insert, which is handy, comes with the arrow. And overall, I've really had good luck with these arrows. They've been really consistent for me. Tune really easy. This is a 300 spine arrow. On the end, I've got a Sevr hybrid 1.5 mechanical broadhead. So you've got the two mechanical blades that pop out where you've got this little rubber band here as it impacts the target. You also have the two bleeder blades that sit up a little bit higher. I was looking at the results of this massive arrow study that was just released. The 1.5, the 1.5 hybrid both received really good marks in regards to aerodynamics and accuracy. This has been a good head for me, and I really like it for elk, so that'll be my choice this year for hunting elk. And I've got a bunch of them I just purchased up at Total Archery Challenge, so I'll be using those for antelope as well. Overall, this combo weighs about 470 grains. The bow is shooting about 292 feet per second, 30-inch draw. It's about 70.5 pounds on draw weight, which is ample kinetic energy, ample momentum for any species that I'm hunting, including bull elk. All right, now for my release. Ultimately, I don't know exactly what release I'll be shooting. I've been playing with some new ones, some that I really like, but this is kind of my tried and true release that I've used for a number of years that I really like. This is the TruBall Executive. This is Christopher Perkins' signature release. One of the things I really like about it is the actual shank here that you can see is extendable, so you can either shrink or extend that. It's a lot easier to mess with that portion of the release than it is like cutting your D-loop and resizing it. So I play with that quite a bit to kind of get the feel of the bow and my anchor just right. This is a hinge release. I like hunting with a hinge, and it's been really good for me. So that's the TruBall Executive. This little tether right here is made by a guy in New Mexico. I believe it's Dark Star Archery. He makes these little wrist tethers that you can put on any of your handheld releases as long as they've got a receiver for it. So I would say pick one of those up. They've been really handy. Just helps you not lose your release, and it gives a nice secure a hold on your wrist as you draw your bow back. So with that, that's kind of my archery setup for the year. I'm definitely looking forward to this year. I'm going into it with a lot of hope, a lot of optimism. I think there's the opportunity to take some nice bulls. Hopefully I get a nice speed goat. If you got questions about anything that I've got here on my bow, if you're looking for suggestions, please drop a comment. I'd be happy to answer those for you. So with that, that's my archery setup, and it's almost time to go hunting. Good luck to you guys this year.